I mean, I'm literally getting my mom back. It's
Wow.
yeah, it's beautiful. I was losing her, so, you know, for whatever reason, whether it was because of 3 of these or not, I'm getting my mom back.
God bless you,
I'm
Julia.
so grateful.
Wow. And you're crediting it to this, or there's a big part of that? You really are?
It started happening when this started happening.
Wow.
And then I saw something happen with skin lesions just falling off my friend's body. And I'm like, okay, it's not a placebo. This is real.
So, Devara, how are you? Welcome back. It's good to see you. And again, people can check out your previous video with us to learn more about your history. But I want to dive in a little bit about what people get. If you can help us with this one. A lot of people get tripped up, especially in today's world, well, myself included, about, you know, ETs, angels, and they often think that are they the same? Are we confusing them in any way? How are we interpreting? Like, what from your experience have you seen that can help us differentiate, you know, who and what they are to us? And are they differentiated?
Mm-hmm. Great question. Yes, the ETs I have met are benevolent, loving, high vibrational, loving ETs. On Earth, they talk about all these negative ETs and negative situations, and a lot of the ones I've seen, let's say on YouTube or whatever, people that are in fear is because of their own fear. There's more benevolent, loving ETs than there is negative. It's just that we are in a lower density planet, so some of the darker ones kind of are here, but don't let them, you know, fool you. There's more benevolent, loving. I mean, they have taken me up and they have shown me all kinds of beautiful things, and the love that I experienced there is I'm going to say I have never experienced here on planet Earth. It is that high of a vibration, and there's no fear, there's no hate, there's no judgment. It's like, I actually, they took me up to Sirius A, and they live inside the sun. I know it sounds amazing, but I don't know how they do it.
Our sun or their sun? Their sun.
Sirius A is considered a sun, S-U-N, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's the brightest star. You see it like the star, most brightest star in the sky, and that's Sirius A. And I actually made them laugh when they brought me up, and I went, oh my God, I can breathe here. And they all laughed because I could feel all just high vibration, no restrictions like it is down here. And we're so used to that, you know, these feelings down here that we don't know how to compare unless you've experienced these other feelings. But they are, I have actually in my book, I have pictures of the beings I have met, because a lot of people always ask me, what do they look like? And I said, well, there's many different species there. There's not just one. There's bird-like beings, there's golden ones that their light is so bright that it fills up the room with golden light. It's just, it's amazing.
So in that world that you see them in, then are they often confused as quote unquote angels?
That's a good question. The angels have told me that their job is they kind of hover around the earth, and they're closer here to help, and where the ETs are further away, but they are benevolent and they're here to help also. But the angels are kind of just right here. You know, you can ask for their help and they come pretty quickly if you've been working with them, you know.
When you say they took you up and then you went into the sun, which I could spend an hour just pulling that one apart, but how did they take you up? Did you like dematerialize your body? Did they hold your hand into a spaceship and you took off? How did you actually get there?
Well, the first time they brought me up, and me and my mother, it wasn't a ship, and the ship was there on the Earth plane in the sky. So, and they showed me different rooms with different colors. So they work with color, light, and sound, actually. And they reminded me my mission, which working with color, light, sound. And they actually shined golden light onto me and said my name was Flying Eagle with Many Wings. Now, I'm half Native American, and I said, that sounds very Native American. So I asked my uncle, he's a Native American shaman, and I told him, I go, they called me this name. It sounds like a Native American name, Flying Eagle with Many Wings. He goes, where do you think we get our names from? We get them from the star people. And I'm like, oh, wow. You know, that when you hear the Native American names, they say a lot of them come from the star people.
What about the Native American people? How is that so distinguishable in it that, you know, that heritage, that culture, you know, forgive me if I'm saying it the right way, I'm not saying it the right way, but how are you the ones getting the names there? Why are they drawn more towards Native Americans?
Yeah.
Because they're more natural and they're less judgmental, and they actually pray to the star people and do ceremony a lot, which we don't. We're busy 9 to 5, so and they've been working with them for, you know, thousands of years, so they have a major connection. They don't really like to talk about it, the Native Americans, because of what the white man did to them, because everything they've ever said and gave information of, they've used it against them. So they kind of keep it still secret.
The Native Americans, what's their connection to source, if you would? Is it these benevolent ETs? Is that how they look at source, or how do they look at source?
Yeah, they source. Well, they're all different cultures, like the Zuni and the Hopi. Always talk about the star people, the Kachinas, and the Kachinas have come down and helped them grow, teach them how to grow their own food and to build their own homes. So they were helpers and teachers, and they honor them. But every Native American culture is different, you know. So I can't speak for all of them.
Oh, I got you. I appreciate it. Just wanted to.
When you went into the sun, into their sun, what did it look like?
It was you would think it would be hot, but it's not. I don't know how they do that, but and I went up etherically, because it's a higher dimension. It's 6D, they said. So it's a very higher dimension than here on Earth, because we're 3D going into 4D. So so it's not really when you're like in a more like spiritual realm, I guess you could say, or etherical realm. Everything's the same. You can feel everything. You can feel emotions. You actually talk a lot easier. It's all mental telepathy. And it's just natural. I mean, it was natural for me when I got there. It was, and that's how they communicate. But it was, you know, how to explain.
Do they have like plants and trees and flowers and oceans and?
Well, I don't know. They only brought me into 2 different rooms. I remember that, or 3 different rooms actually. And they were just, I remember meeting first, there was a walkway and there was a whole bunch of pink beings, no grays. There was no grays in this, you know, place. So, and then they brought me into this other room, and there was the commander. He had feathers, white feathers for hair, and golden triangles for eyes. It was just amazing, but he looked human besides that. And just loving, just very loving. And it was just like a room, kind of like a I don't know how to explain it. It just kind of maybe like a ship kind of room. Like it was around, everything was round, you know.
If the angels are closer in proximity to us to, help us when we call on them, then what is the purpose then of them? Why do they come in if they know the angels are there closer to us to deal with us?